Well, this was a quiet Tuesday for me, and I was about to go to bed when all of a sudden I got a notification on YouTube about a new gameplay video for Ark Raiders. So I did what any sensible person should do. I watched that gameplay video multiple times. Although short, it was a proper gameplay and not any rendered footage, so there was a lot to take away from that video. On top of it, one of my most favorite content creators on YouTube, Jack Frags, also released a breakdown video for that gameplay, and he actually gave a lot of crucial information that were not given in the official gameplay. So disclaimer, I am making this video combining my notes from the official Ark Raiders gameplay as well as Jack's breakdown on the same. I will be sharing links for both the videos in the description because that's the least I feel I can do here, as Jack is one of my primary inspirations to whom I look up to as a content creator in YouTube, and this will at least get to an hour mark if I start talking about it. So leaving all the pleasantries aside, let's jump right into the discussion, shall we? Let's start with what is Ark Raiders. First revealed in December 2021, Ark Raiders initially aimed to be a free-to-play PvE looter shooter. This game has gone through a development period of more than 4 years now, and throughout its development cycle, there have been multiple closed tests that have led to the game being evolved into a PvEVP multiplayer extraction adventure as described by the developers. Although offered initially as a free-to-play title, the game is going to be a $40 premium offering on release. Let's briefly talk about the lore of Ark Raiders. Set in a distant future here on Earth, players will start their adventure in Speranza, one of the few underground places in Rustbelt that is relatively safe from the killer Ark machines that roam on the surface. There are thousands of people living down there, and there's always a need for vital materials that can be found in the world above. So we as Ark Raiders put ourselves in risk against the machines as well as other rival raiders and take on the task to go to the surface and scavenge materials for a price. This is quite straightforward to begin with, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I really hope there's more to the lore of Ark Raiders as we progress through the game. Talking about the gameplay, it's an extraction shooter, so we'll have all the typical bells and whistles of one. That means looting, fighting or not fighting, crafting and building up your stash. While doing these, if you die, you lose all your gear. That's pretty conventional for an extraction shooter. Infills and exfills are done through a series of repurposed tunnels, which sounds cool and sits well with the overall design of the game. For the exfil, the number of available points in the map gets reduced as the game progresses. That will surely lead to pretty intense late game fights. Players can infill as a solo or in a group of duos or trios as mentioned by Jack Frags in his breakdown video. As seen in the gameplay video, there is fall damage but only from a certain height. If a player is knocked down, a red flare will shot up in the sky, giving away their position to other available players in the map. Players can use zip lines to easily move from one rooftop to another, but it's a trade-off between easy traversal and giving away your position in the map by making the birds sitting on those zip lines go nuts when players move through those zip lines. Game supports squad and proximity voice chat, and players will be able to team up with other players in the map. Players can explore different buildings for loot, and keys can be used to gain access into locked areas. Some of those indoor areas looked super creepy to me, and there will be plenty of raiders lurking in the shadows when this game releases. There's a short glimpse of a night map that can be seen in the gameplay video as well. Talking about crafting and looting, players will be able to buy or sell items to the traders available in the game. Along with this, players will also have access to their own workshop where they can build and upgrade their own crafting stations to get access to more lucrative weapon mods or gadgets. Players will also be able to expand their workshop to accommodate more crafting stations. Players can take quests from traders in exchange for currency and experience along with occasional upgrades. Players will also have access to a skill tree where they can invest their experience points earned through quests and gain access to different skills that suit their gameplay style. For gadgets, grapple hook can be seen in the gameplay. Also, players are seen to carry melee weapons as well. Shoulder swap is there in the game, so rejoice my fellow Division players. Looking at the world and the visuals from the gameplay, this looks stunning even for a closed test. This game has been in development for 4 years now, and given the reputation that Embark has earned through the finals, I'm quite confident that the game will run pretty well on all the supported hardwares. Speaking of hardware, the game is set to release on PC through Epic Games Store and Steam along with Xbox and PlayStation. As of yet, there is no exact release date for the game, but the game is set to release in 2025. Finally, I wanted to share my thoughts about the game changing from a free-to-play title to a premium one. Although this may turn some people away from the game initially, if the offerings in terms of its gameplay, lore, rewards, progression, anti-cheat, etc. are really good and justify the price tag, I feel players won't really care much about that $40 price. I also completely agree with the fact that the game being a premium offering will help to keep some of those cheaters away to begin with. But that can't be the only reason. For the time being, I'm going to give the benefit of doubt to the developers at Embark. Hopefully, I get to play the game during any of the upcoming playtests and experience it firsthand. That's it for the video. I hope this was informative and you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to drop a like on it and do consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Also, please do share your thoughts about Arc Raiders in the comments below. Till next time, this is DJ signing off. Take care and much love, Raiders. Peace.